This dynamic duo is the authority on taking the overwhelm out of leading a healthy lifestyle. Champion you to build a foundation for health, happiness, and success. They are leading a revolution on physical, nutritional, and emotional empowerment, helping you find a balance between work, family, and self. They strive to maximize your personal success, overcome your challenges, transform your body, increase your energy, attain your goals, and focus on overall wellness so you can feel consistently better about yourself and can perform better in all aspects of your life. Let's take the overwhelm out and achieve balance through physical, nutritional, and emotional awareness. Introducing renowned health strategists, life trainers, global speakers, the one and only powerhouse couple, Craig and Jenny T.
Right, we're getting the guys live on the line. I hope the sun's shining there. Morning, morning, morning. How the devil are you, gorgeous pair?
How you doing over there?
Very well. I'm just, I've got my thermal socks on today.
You do?
Well, that's funny because we have bathing suits on. It.
Have you really? Bathing suits? What are you doing? Oh,
no
my
joke.
God.
We are in a heat wave here in Philadelphia.
It's like almost 70 degrees.
You're winding me up now, aren't you?
Oh, it is so funny, so funny. So how are you doing this morning, David?
I'm very well, I'm very well. You all okay?
We're doing great. Did you have a good Valentine's Day after our session on love last week?
I did. My lips are worn out. I've just about got my fingerprint back on them again after being kissed to death, but that's another story.
Oh, that's
I tell you what, you want to see,
that.
You want to see this felt figure as well that you've sent over to me with this, with all that paperwork you have to keep following.
How you doing with that?
Oh, looks stunning now. Even the mirror's kissing me back. I'm that good.
Oh, I love it. For all of you listeners out there, David's been doing a new program with us. So he's trying to get in his summer body when he takes those thermal socks off.
Yeah, I'm going to put my thong on. I'll look tremendous.
All right, I'm running when you do that, David. But I'll tell you what, we've got another jam-packed morning this morning. We've got guests joining us from Germany this morning. So I know you've already been speaking to her yesterday. So this is going to be exciting.
Yeah, be great. Be great.
Yeah. So we're going to go on. Last week we were talking about love, and this week we're going to go on to a new topic, which is about running a business when you're also trying to run a family and raise kids, working together as a couple in business, which is something that Craig and I do every day, and just how you manage to do it all, because so many people out there just feel like they're burning the candle at both ends and not sure how to get it all done. So we thought this would be kind of a cool topic to talk about, to ease everybody's mind that it is really possible to do it all with the right systems. And so we have joined us this morning, Sue Baumgaertner-Bartsch and her husband, Christian Bartsch, and they are both actually serial. So they have multiple businesses between the two of them. Sue is actually a peak potential life coach and a mother and wife, and she is the senior managing partner of Peak Potential Life. So she specializes in coaching people that want to start their own business while also raising a family and having a healthy lifestyle. And she particularly likes working with women because she believes that women can still become successful entrepreneurs or business people, do whatever they want while still being a wonderful mother and a devoted wife and being involved in the family as well. She is also the co-owner of mindyourwealth.com, which is a business that she runs with her husband, Christian. So he is actually a digital wealth builder, father and husband, and he has quite an amazing background. He has one of the highest security clearances that you can get because one of his opportunities that he has is to actually help authorities to keep our world as safe as possible.
Watch out, Dave.
Oh my God. Well, he won't say,
Yes,
you don't want to say, he'll give a shot when he's speaking to me then.
Yeah, so this is kind of a multi-purpose call, David. No, I'm just kidding.
My God, I'm going to... Can you just... he's not wearing rubber gloves as well, is he? Checking me out at the same time.
It's a good thing your fingerprints are gone.
Oh, my God, I know.
So we have got both of them joining us this morning to talk about what they're doing as a couple in their businesses and raising their family, how they manage to get it all done, and some tips for all of us that are trying to do the same out there. So we want to welcome Sue and Christian to the show. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning,
How are
guys.
you both doing today?
How are you guys doing?
We are doing great over here.
Good. Well, I know it's afternoon for you guys, so we always say morning because it's it's dark as can be and etc. But I mean but I know it's afternoon for you guys, so that is awesome. I mean, but thank you so much for taking the time out to come on the show. We really appreciate it. As we've gotten to know you guys, I mean, you guys are an amazing couple. You guys are doing all these things, and we are very impressed because I mean, it's just not about really, just being a serial entrepreneur, having all these businesses. I mean, you've got to have systems, you've got to have certain aspects of it that really put it all together, because if you don't, it just doesn't seem to happen. And that's where, when we started talking with you guys, we just loved who you guys were, how you guys did it, and especially with the family. So, I mean, the first question I had for you is, as a couple running several businesses, and doing it with a family, how do you guys do it all?
Yes, Craig. It's really a great question, because the most important thing that we found is really, it comes down to how you manage your time and energy. We're all busy. We only have 24 hours a day. So everybody's saying, so how do we fit everything in, right? So What Christian and I do is we really get together on Sunday evening and we plan out our week. That means, each day what we have to do in terms of our businesses, in terms of family activities, and of course, time for us as a couple as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Yeah, and we have to as well understand our roles. Each of us has different roles depending on the talents that we have and the knowledge and so on, the skills. And at the same time, we have to see that we meet our deadlines. Otherwise, we go off track and do other stuff that's not to the point.
That's so true. And I'm guessing that you guys, because not only do you have the family and one business, but you have multiple businesses. So have you developed like an organizational chart, not only for the multiple businesses, but also within the family then to say, okay, Sue, these are your roles, and, Christian, these are your roles, to keep everybody on point in all the different areas that you're doing?
Yes, certainly.
Yes, we really have to do that. And also, when we talk about time management, it's sometimes not so much the time only, it's also the energy that we put into it. So that really comes down to, where do we spend our energy with? And that's really going down to, we distinguish between what's really transformational work we have to do that's helping us grow personally, but also helps us grow our business, and all these other things that we have to do as well. Like as a family, as we have to, bring the kids to school, pick them up, or have to cook, make dinner, do the laundry, all these, what we say are transactional things as well. And, from all of these, we try to outsource as much as we can.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Now, what about, you mentioned one word, and this is one word that we really get a lot of whenever people are talking to us, and which is energy. And you guys have a lot of energy, and, people see us, and we have a lot of energy, and it's like, and it's very contagious. So, we've got this contagious energy, all four of us. This is fantastic. And you too, David, you've got fantastic energy. So question is, how do you guys get your energy? How do you keep it up all day long?
Well, it's really, one of the aspects, if we have to, we have to think a lot, of course, we have to use our brains. So in order to think effectively, efficiently, and come up with new great ideas, we have to make sure that we exercise as well. We have to keep our bodies alive, So it's really the body and the mind at the same time.
Yeah, and you have to think as well what we are eating, and so it has to be tasty and at the same time good. But certain things people don't like and other things prefer, but not everything is good for you. So you have to get into a habit as well to check out what you're buying and what are you actually eating. And sometimes maybe even taking the pain to say, okay, I like eating that, but it's not good. I have to stop it. Maybe I find something else I like and make that into a habit.
Exactly. And I think it's so important for people to understand that there's not one right way for everybody, because sometimes we see these different ads on TV or we hear them on the radio or we read them in the latest magazine, and it says that this is the best workout to be doing right now, or we should all be eating this or all be eating that. And have you found in your own lives that that's not necessarily the case, because you have to find something that works for you? And so, for example, you two are familiar with all of the different movement programs that Craig and I have, but we also do other things, meaning that I have found it very effective for me to get up every morning 15 minutes earlier than I normally would to get on a rebounder and jump on the trampoline for 15 minutes to get my day started. It gets the energy flowing, it gets the lymphatic system moving, and it really helps clear my mind. But what about for you guys? Have you found that there are certain things and you've had to do this trial and error to figure out what works for us in our life?
So it's actually having a coach, not only for your health, but as well for your mindset and all those things, and as well seeing that you make things as simple as possible, because we like to overcomplicate things and take ages. So we have to get into a habit of pushing and getting speed of implementation, instead of saying, yeah, but I have to review it again and 5 times reviewed and 20 times reviewed, and then by then months and months have passed and nothing is achieved. So make it fast and be persistent as well, especially when you're doing multiple things at the same time that maybe are not on the same schedule, but maybe in a different time frame. And you have to keep doing them and complete them, because they are all usually aligned to be a hand-in-hand strategic opportunity. But if you just do it half the way and just stop, then it's a waste of energy and it's not going to take you anywhere.
That's a great point. So when you commit to something, make sure that you follow through with that, because if not, you've just wasted your time on spending a portion. And I love how you said, don't think about it over and over again. Just look at it, evaluate it, and make a decision. And that, says a lot coming from you. I know our listeners don't know this, but you're a very analytical person by nature, Christian. And so, if you can do that, so can other people. And we really need to get out of our heads sometimes and, look at something, look at the best case scenario, the worst case scenario, the most likely scenario, and then say 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, decide, and come to a decision very quickly on what we're going to do so that we can move forward. Is that something that you utilize as well in your days?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, we have so much to cover this morning. And Sue, we're going to be coming to you next specifically about your business and what you're doing as a peak potential coach. So I want you guys to hang right there. For all our listeners, we are going to go over to our first song this morning. It's Rita Ora and Anywhere.
Right, with the guys this afternoon, or this morning even, for you don't know what time to say, do you?
Funny for us, David.
I know. Well, it's the first time I've seen the sun in 4 months here, I'm telling you.
What's that?
It's the first time I've seen the sun in 4 months at the moment, because it's only just stopped raining.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah,
I'm
horrible.
telling you what, if you could have seen us out here yesterday, sunbathing and everything, David, you would have been just amazed.
I know.
This heat wave, I don't know.
I know. Well, Albert, it's just, you don't have to rub it in, for God, Bennett. I mean, I've been walking around. I actually, instead of buying new wiper blades for the car, I thought it's easier just to hold an umbrella up, wind the window down, hold the brolly over the car and just drive along with the brolly up. Because I'm going through wiper blades like never before at the moment.
Oh, you crack me up. Well, you can always come over here and visit next time we have a heat wave, David.
Oh, no, I'll be there. Trust me, I'll be there with my sombrero on, covering everything.
Just leave the Speedo at home, would you? I mean, I know you're getting this new awesome body and all working with us, David, but really, the Speedo can stay home.
All right,
guys.
It's a big one,
our
though.
Listeners, what's that?
It's a big one, the Speedo.
So for our listeners that are just joining in with us this morning, we are with Sue Baumgaertner-Bartsch and her husband, Christian. And she is a serial entrepreneur as well as him. And she runs a company called Peak Potential Life. And we are going to go directly to her right now to talk about some of the things that she's doing in her business, because we want you all to know that not only are they serial entrepreneurs and running multiple businesses, but they also are raising a family. And it's so critical for us to understand how we can possibly do it all, because we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And it's so important to be able to manage, really more so than time, manage your energy. Because if you think about it, we all have that same amount of time and we can't control it. It just keeps going. So let's ask Sue here, the peak potential coaching. Can you explain to our listeners exactly what that means for them and what it is that you do with your clients?
Yes. So as a peak potential coach, I coach people to reach their maximum of results, happiness, and wealth. And really what that means is that I hold the people accountable so they can reach their goals. And this could be personal goals, this could be business goals. And, as a business leader, having spent over 10 years on about 3 continents, really, I have this great international experience as an auditor and CPA. So I do understand when it comes down to business numbers, what's business strategy is all about, if companies want to expand globally, and really the mindset behind it all so that you can get it to work.
Yeah, that's so important, because you spent, over 10 years actually working as a consultant and auditor, right, with global companies?
Absolutely, yes. It was in the US, in Hong Kong, in China, and in Europe.
Wow. So you have a ton of experience in this. So basically you're transferring everything that you learned in that life, right, and what you were doing over there in that portion of your life. And now you're transferring that into individual lives and helping them reach that peak potential just like you would inside of a business.
Absolutely right. And it's oftentimes when we talk about business, yes, it is business, but in the end, it's also all about people, how to do business with people, how to understand the different cultures. These are all factors that play an important role as entrepreneurs who want to start their business.
Wow, that's so important. And one of the things that you said also, which always hits me, is it's not just about maximum results, but it's about maximum happiness as well. Can you talk a little bit to that and why you feel that's so important for your clients?
Yes, sure, Jenny. I've been in the corporate world myself, and I've seen people struggle, working 50 hours a week, and some of them, are really truly successful. But when I ask them, are you truly happy? A lot of them say, well, you know what? No, I'm actually not really happy. Maybe my boss is not really appreciating all the results, the business, the revenues I'm creating. So I'm doing a great job, but I'm not really fulfilled. I'm not really truly happy.
Yeah, and I think so many times when we're in that role as well, because Craig and I both come from a corporate background prior to us starting our own business, is you also, that energy management is an issue, because so many times when we're working in that corporate position, there are a lot of energy suckers, right? So from the different people that we work with to the environment that we're working in, the commute back and forth, there are all sorts of things potentially that we allow to suck our energy. And if we don't have the right coaching, we let that happen, right? We almost have these leaks in our bucket, if you will, that are stealing from us. So having a coach, even if you work in the corporate side, you don't have to be a business owner to have a coach. So even if you work in the corporate arena, it is so critical, I believe, to have a coach like yourself, a peak potential coach that helps you not only continue to get the best results in the position that you're in, but learn how to manage that energy. Because when you come home at the end of the day or the end of the week, your loved ones, whether you have a spouse or children or not, or it's just your friends and even taking care of yourself, you need to still have that energy available for that.
Absolutely, Jenny. That's so important to have that energy, but also whenever what you do throughout the day, have that focus. So if I do business, I focus on the business, and then if I come home, I focus on my family, and have the energy still to do that. It's when you have to have the focus. I would say,
Yeah, focus is so important. We talk about that in a concept called compartmentalizing. And basically, you have to think of your mind as a file drawer, right? A file cabinet. And you have the drawers for all the different things. So when you're in your business, you have that drawer pulled out, and you're only allowed to pull files out that relate to that and to let your mind focus on that. And then when you leave the business, whether you're just stopping your workday at home or leaving corporate, you put those files away, you shut the drawer and lock it, and then you pull out the family drawer or you pull out the personal drawer. But you can only ever have one drawer open at a time. And by staying focused, like you were saying, Sue, on whatever it is you're involved in the moment, allows you to reach those higher levels of fulfillment. Because at work, you can have greater levels of success by the focus. And then at home, you can leave the work behind for a little while, focus on actually enjoying yourself, enjoying your family, and to receive that fulfillment through that. Because if we're sitting there with our family and thinking about work the whole time, we don't go back to work recharged the next day. We still go back all worried and stressed out, and we never got that downtime and that true break to refuel our energy levels.
Oh, that's so true, Jenny. And now that you're saying that, when you're back home and you want to, distract yourself from all the work and the business that's been going on throughout the day, it's also really important that you are able to shut down, so to speak. So having the focus on the one hand and able to shut down. And as you said earlier, that having that energy brings me back to what I have also noticed is you want to also surround yourself with the right people, the people who support your ideas, your goals, your missions, that are positive thinking, and that, whether that's the people you work with or that you surround yourself with in your leisure time, that's also really critical.
Absolutely. It's so true.
Oh, yeah. And it's like whenever we, when thinking about all that, one of the things come to mind is one of our coaches said that, a lot of times people are, if somebody came into your house and threw a bunch of garbage in your house, you'd get really mad at them. But a lot of times, people are throwing a lot of garbage in our minds. And what do? We kind of keep them in there, which is not really the best thing. We've got to find a way to get those people out and to hang around with, really the positive people that, we want to be, associated with, that are going to empower us.
Absolutely correct. I always say, both Chris and I, we say, get rid of the negative people in your life. That's not going to help you in your business, in your life. It's going to drain your energy. It's going to suck it all out. You want those people to cheer, to vouch for you. And as a coach, that's what the peak potential coach does. I help the people to think positively, to get their mindset right so they can grow personally and professionally.
Yeah, that's awesome. So, you are very motivated. You've got a lot of energy. And so, the question is, what motivated you to really start this business?
Oh, that's a really good question. Well, the perfect balance really between being a successful woman in business and simultaneously being a mom is extremely hard to get. So I started out as a sports teacher, really, and transformed into this, what people would call me, business firecracker and successful business leader. For 10 years living on 3 continents and doing business, once I've mastered it all, I was ready for this next challenge. And that's when Peak Potential Life was born. So now I'm the senior managing partner of Peak Potential Life, and we are Europe's experts in turning employees into business owners superheroes, faster than you can imagine. But aside from all the business aspect, as a mom, for me, it was really critical to empower other people, and especially the women, to understand that as a woman, you can do this all. You can have a business, you can have kids, and you can create that lifestyle that you want.
Yeah, That's so important.
It really is. I mean, I think about what you had said. I mean, from an employee to a business owner, and that's where we were at. And I will tell you that if it wasn't for how we took care of our bodies, I'm not exactly sure. I mean, if we would be able to, withstand everything that we've done. I mean, because it is about, we've talked about it, the movement, the nutrition, the mindset. I mean, which is, our key things to really making sure that you've got sustainable energy all day long, and to have that focus and that clarity. And that is some of the things that I know that, you guys have, really focused on. And I can tell because of all the energy that you guys do have, and it's fantastic.
Yes, and Craig, I mean, aside, of course, from this exercise every morning, and we do the Craig and Jenny exercise, it's like this 15, 20 minutes. It's amazing. It doesn't take that much time. Everybody can do that. And we alternate that with some of the fascia yoga and the stretching that we do as well. So it's very important.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, doing what you love and doing what makes you feel good. And that's where every individual needs to figure out what that is. It can just be a 15, 20-minute walk, but we need to do something to get that blood flowing and to keep our bodies healthy. And really to raise our emotional state as well, because that's one of the first things that movement does for us. As soon as we start moving, we see that emotional state increase, which is important for us. So what was the biggest challenge that you've actually faced as a woman entrepreneur?
Well, in the beginning of my career, it was really the lack of confidence. Women often lack confidence, whereas men are overly confident. So when I learned to make it a habit to remind myself of my successes that I've achieved in life and, the positive feedback and wins, this is really when my confidence increased and I became unstoppable.
Yeah. That's so important. And I love that you said carrying your successes kind of with you and reminding yourself of those. One of the things we recommend that people do is to write down their top 10 successes that they've ever had in their life. And it doesn't have to be in business or winning awards. Maybe, for me, one of my top 10 is the 5 children that I'm raising successfully. That is a huge success to me. It's, that I married my husband and that we have a great relationship. So there's all these things that can be successes, but whatever they are to you, and make sure they're personal, you write them down or put them in your phone and carry them with you all the time. And anytime during the day where you're not feeling at your very best, look at those and remind yourself of just how much you have accomplished in your life and how important that is.
That's such a great thing that you guys do. And both of us do something similar where we, in our journal every morning, we write down the 3 top things that we're grateful for and why.
Yes, yes. So important to do that gratefulness exercise as well. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yes. So those are some great things that our listeners can start doing as well. So, write down the top 10 things, successes that you've had in your life, and obviously they'll change over time as you grow. Carry those with you, but then every morning writing down 3 things that you're grateful for.
I've just written one of mine down.
Sue in the evening.
I've just written one of mine down that I did when I was a kid at school, right? I don't know if you did that. I don't know if you did this at school, but you remember the sports day? That I don't know if you have it in the States or in Germany.
Yeah.
But you have right. Well,
we call it play day over here.
Do you? Right. That's another. Well, there's another name for that, but that's another story. But that one of the races is the egg and spoon race. You remember when you had to?
Yeah, the egg and spoon. I know that one.
Yeah. Well, I won it. How I didn't drop the egg, I've no idea. But putting sellotape under the egg made a major difference for my win, I tell you.
Next, when I see you, David, I want that one written down in your phone. I want to see that. I love it. I love it.
That was one of my successes.
All right, guys, let's take another music break here. And then, Christian, we are going to come back live with you. We want to hear about what you are doing over there, helping people with their financial health. So we are going to go over to Robin Thicke and Blurred Lines.
With Jenny and Craig.
Yeah.
So, David, we're going to talk about money now.
Right.
Yeah, we are. We're talking about money. By the way, I over that song, I kept on thinking about a Speedo, and I was like, oh, this is wrong.
All I know is I hope the lines are very blurred so that I actually can't see your Speedo, David.
That's right.
My vision is so blurry.
Well, what you don't know is very soon we're going to be filming this show, right? And he's going to be going on the YouTube channel for the radio station, but he's going to be going on Expat TV as well. So once we've got it nailed down, and you two have become superstars at dealing with the continuity and everything, now we're going to film it. So news to you. I can't have you lying in bed doing the show anymore.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. Well, we are back live, guys, with Sue Baumgaertner-Bartsch and Christian Bartsch, her husband. So, Craig, why don't you get us started
so
here?
Christian has already got the details of you, David, so he's going to talk to you after the show. But going on to the important stuff, okay, is that Christian, he's really the founder of, miningourwealth.com. And, he is, just absolutely fascinating whenever it comes to, wealth building. And so, what I want to ask you is, you're a wealth builder. And what does that mean?
Well, it is important to have, besides physical health, also to have a healthy attitude and mindset towards money and to create your financial health. That is so important because if you get financial instability, then that will destroy relationships and eventually it pulls you down into a negative mindset. So you have to find new ways to invest and to gradually build up your wealth to a financial state that is stable and sustainable and not going crazy.
Yeah, it's so important that you mentioned in there about it destroying relationships, because last week, interestingly, we had Dr. Stephanie Nahr from the Relationship Repair Shop on the show here with us, and we were talking about the health of relationships and marriages and business relationships and friendships, and it's so critical because finances is one of the biggest challenges that destroys many. And so, for what you're doing to be able to not only create new ways for people to invest, which we're going to talk about here in a moment, but just giving them that healthy attitude and mindset towards money and helping people really understand that.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I tried to focus as well on my 2 new books that I published recently, because it's just so important to make people aware of that and to help them and guide them how to do it in a simple way, not overcomplicating things and everything.
Yeah.
What are those 2 books you're talking about?
They're books about cryptocurrency, how to invest in these coins, invest in general in the whole area of cryptocurrencies, and as well how to understand how to go the safe way instead of going crazy without being scammed and so on, because there's lots of stuff over there in the internet just waiting to get your money and not deliver any results. And that's what we try to avoid, because that's exactly what then destroys our financial health. Once we've gradually built it up, boom, you get scammed and the whole money is gone and you're back to zero.
Yep. Absolutely. Well, explain to us, Chris, because I think there might be some listeners out there as well that are like, I hear this terminology, cryptocurrency, and I just really don't understand what it is. I'm not familiar, and maybe they haven't taken the time to do their own research. And I know Craig and I have talked to you a lot about it, and you've done an amazing job educating us. And so, and we've even done some investing with you once we understood it a bit. And so, can you give I know we only have about 5 more minutes here, but can you give the listeners kind of that brief rundown on what in the world this cryptocurrency thing is, and what they need to know to start doing a little bit of research, and also how they can get a hold of you guys clearly to learn more?
Yes, definitely. The thing is, cryptocurrencies is nothing else than a digital form of transferring values from A to B. And the nice thing about it from the cost side of it is that transferring a certain amount of money around the world costs next to nothing, even less than the sugar you might have had in your hot drink this morning, whether it's a coffee or tea. It doesn't matter, it is cheaper. Do the same thing with banks. It'll cost you a fortune. You can spend the same money if you save it by doing cryptocurrency transfers. You can go on a holiday, whether it's to Turkey, Spain, Italy, France, or the US. It's a lot of money that we're actually talking that you're just wasting by transferring it to the old ways. And the reality is that the money isn't actually being really transferred. It's just credits are transferred on other end. One of the financial institutes then provides you the money that you are supposed to receive, let's say as the seller of some service or good. And that brings us actually to the advantage as well for retail and other things. The faster it is to get paid as well, it means as well that you will be happy as well to deliver higher quality at a faster rate because you know you've been paid and you're happy to do business with the client, and you know it's so easy because straight away you can maybe pay somebody else who's doing something for you, which you need to get the stuff supplied that you're actually selling. Mm-hmm. And that's the key thing.
Yeah, and it seemed the more and more, right, we're also seeing around the world retailers and businesses that are accepting cryptocurrency as these forms of payments to make it easy for the investor. Is that correct?
Yes, and they're looking especially as well to cryptocurrencies that are more stable and not going crackers up and down like Bitcoin and that. Bitcoin is more a hard currency and not really that stable that you could use it even to sell coffee every day or computer equipment or even industrial products. It just goes up and down, and it's not stable enough like we're used to our normal currencies like dollars and euros and pounds and so on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, that makes sense. And there obviously is so much to learn. And I know, from talking to you also, you recently interviewed Steve Wozniak, didn't you?
Yes, exactly. And I asked him as well, how is it actually the best way to get people actually to get confidence in all this modern technology? Because when we speak about cryptocurrencies, it's all based on the blockchain. So right. You can do with this whole concept a lot of stuff, whether it's in money, whether it's in industrial areas, whether it's intercompany contracts and so on. You can use it all as a notary service. It's a huge opportunity that's just been started to be explored. So it's an awesome thing to look into.
Wow. Wow. Well, that's so cool. That is so cool. And really I know that we've loved exploring the cryptocurrency world with you guys. It's been fun and exciting for us, especially we come from a background in finance, but this is a whole new world for us, and we're really enjoying exploring it with you guys. And so if you're interested in learning more about that, you can also find Christian at mineyourwealth.com. And if you go to the Craig and Jenny D Facebook page, we'll be putting both the contact information for Sue and Christian on there that you can reach out to them, as well as hear the recordings of this as well. So one last question before we go to our final song here that I want to ask you guys. As a business couple, what is your recipe in order to build value and healthy business relationships?
One important motto we always live by is that we say together we succeed. So building relationships is crucial. And when you meet people the first time, it's 90% listening to them and 10% talking, because you want to get to know the others. You want to find out what they're doing and maybe be able to do business with them. So
yeah, and that's how we get an opportunity to team up, connect with them, and see where we can actually collaborate. And we're doing that all the time. Every few weeks we're getting a new business partner who's bringing his business, his talents, and we're joining into a new service or new product and going into markets that we haven't been until now.
Yeah. Well, that is absolutely fascinating. And you guys have just been amazing. Sue and Christian, you guys have taken the time out of your day to share your secrets with everybody. And we thank you so much for that, because you've added so much value to all of the listeners out there. And we really, really appreciate it. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's been fun with you guys.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we're so glad that we could have you on this morning.
Yeah, we really are. And so, remember, go to our Facebook page, like us. You're going to find information, about Sue and Christian on there, as well as us. And so we're going to be signing off, and we're going to our final song, which is Robbie Williams and Candy.
Okay, guys.
Don't eat that candy.
I know. I won't touch it. Not even going in the fridge or the wardrobes for it. And I'll speak to you.
No candy for you, David. It's not on the plan. It's not on the plan, buddy.
No.
And I won't get in my thumb if I do. And I'll speak to you next week.
All right, David. We'll talk next Wednesday.
All right.
Have a great day,
See ya.
everybody.
Thanks, Christian. Thanks a lot for being on the show today.